set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Washington. Brandon Ayuk, his second touchdown on the season. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Set to return, here's Raheem Mostert. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Murray flips this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Shotgun now for Murray. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. Again, they'll throw with Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there. Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Mike Evans, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were... So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. On 2nd and 10, Lance. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Murray now to throw. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. Well, the guilty party that time, Charles Leno Jr. Now Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Murray. And a catch made by Hopkins. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. Touchdown! That's caught. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. Now the try here for the point after. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were losers to Philadelphia a week ago. Now they find themselves in the lead as they start this drive. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 2nd and a couple, Murray. And a catch right side by Evans. Runs over him. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And the Seahawks are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
To throw, it's Murray. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. Austin Eckler, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Lance. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. A.J. Epinesa. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. And Lance's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Airing one out for Crowder. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this gets across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To throw, it's Lance. That's complete. Okuebuna. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Gibson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Lance looking to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Julian Love. And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive, working with a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Murray now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Murray's going to keep it again, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And his kick here is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On first down, Lance. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. A.J. Epinesa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And Lance going to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Darrell Taylor with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. 57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Ekeler running it. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. 3rd and goal. Here's the option left. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before you get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
From the 22, Lance. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jason Verrett. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Ekeler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually